Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Match Day -1 press conference with Team Canada. We have Head Coach John Herdman. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll give you the floor. Where do we start? Ryan Tolmich.
Hey, John, we were on earlier with Greg and just kind of talking about the way that this rivalry and these two teams have grown together. And he said how he sees a lot of similarities in the way that these two programs are going right now, just built with young players who are eager to prove themselves both, at home and Europe, wherever. And he just looking at this rivalry, how do you kind of see it? Is it kind of friendly based on the similarities? Is it fierce, and where do you kind of see this game going?
Yeah, I think we're both after the same thing. We just want our teams to keep improving. We want our teams to be respected at the world level, and we're doing everything we can. I know Greg works very hard behind the scenes, similar to myself and my staff. We grind it out to try and find every last centimeter of performance improvement. So, coming up against Greg, it's always a privilege. I think it's he's a good coach. He's very meticulous. So, tactically, it's always going to be a battle. And then when it comes down to the rivalry, I mean, that's the players. That's the players really look forward to this game. I think the Canadian guys always look forward to the match against the USA. And I know my experience on the women's side, we used to love coming up against the US. It was always a huge rivalry for us, and certainly in recent times, the game in Toronto and Orlando, yeah, they were good matches, good quality matches. So expecting something similar tomorrow, and it should have some fireworks, I'm sure.
Next question. Okay, Coach, Canada is already in the next round of the Gold Cup. How important is for the team to qualify as first of the group?
How important, sorry?
How important is for you guys to qualify as the first of the group?
Look, the mission was coming into this this group stage to qualify top of the group. I mean, we always try and set, high goals for ourselves and for the country. So, with the US, we haven't beaten them on their turf for, I think, in our history. And that's a real carrot for, I think, these players. But all in all, we would like to finish top. It's an important part of progressing through a tournament. But at the same time, the most important thing is that we have a team that's there's solidarity there. They're connected. We have a group of players that can actually play in the quarterfinal and not suspended through yellow cards. And those that are carrying injuries have had a chance to nurse it. So I think the win against Martinique and Haiti and putting ourselves in a good position, particularly with the goal difference, it's just put us in that mindset that it gives you a chance to prepare for that quarterfinal. At the end of the day, to get to the Gold Cup final, you have to win another 2 matches after this. This is an important game, I think, for the fans, for the players. But all in all, as a head coach, you have to look at one eye on the next game. And, whether that's Jamaica, Costa Rica, whether that means we have to play Mexico or, Honduras in the semi-finals, who knows? We just don't know how the tournament's going to unfold. So you can't predict too far ahead. What I do know is I want my best group of players, the most talented group available for that quarterfinal match. That's a critical game for Canada, and to get over that hump is a big one for this country. So I'll have one eye on that, one eye on this game, and as you're aware, it's a derby match. It's important to our players and fans.
Thank you, Coach. Now, can you tell us what has impressed you the most of your players in the first 2 games?
Well, the amount of goals they've scored, I think that's been great. I think they've showed at times that attacking quality. I think some of our positional play has been really up there, and how we've been able to integrate a lot of the young new faces into this team. I mean, you know, we're playing with guys like Tajon Buchanan, who's, you know, only picking up 3 caps, Alistair Johnson, 5, 6 caps. So it's still a young, inexperienced team in many parts. And I just feel like it's gelling slowly but surely together. And then we've had some tough moments, and I've enjoyed that. I mean, this team needs tough moments. And if you've seen in CONCACAF, you know, the Mexicans, the Costa Ricans, the Jamaicans, they've all had tough moments in this tournament. Even the US against Haiti, you know, with that scoreline. So you've just got to say the games in CONCACAF aren't easy, and they're going to throw up this underdog narrative for a lot of teams. But, you know, I think for us coming into this game, you know, those learnings are critical. We've been able to fight back from 1-0 down, and have in the back of our mind in the Haiti game when they scored that goal that here they come again, that sort of nightmare moment could appear at any time, and we got through it. So I think it's showing how far we've come, and we're missing Davies, we're missing David, we're missing Arfield, we're missing Hutchinson, Kennedy. You know, there's a group of guys that could be here. And they're not. And I think developing that sort of resilience in this group of men, particularly for what's coming World Cup qualifiers, is huge.
So now tell us, Kyle Larin has scored a record of 10 goals this year. How important it is that he's playing so well?
Yeah, he's loving it. He's loving being part of the Canadian national team. I mean, I think he was one of the men that potentially could have went back to his club and you know, eased his way into a pre-season, given that he's got Champions League commitments, and given that he had a hell of a season as well. He had a lot of games building in, and he had a long World Cup qualification, and he's got 2 twin girls at home, and so managing a lot. But, you know, the sacrifices he's made is because he actually loves playing for his country. He's really enjoying, you know, the brotherhood we've created here. He's enjoying the style of play. And yeah, you can see he's just in good form. He's in good rhythm at the minute. So long may it last, because I think the fans are enjoying him. He had some moments in the Haiti game where you can see he's doing things in a Canadian shirt we've never seen him do before. I mean, he took a ball out the air, beat 3 players. Yeah, I mean, he's in really good form. So excited, and hopefully it continues.
Canada and USA split their series in CONCACAF Nations League with 1 win each other. How close were those games between the 2 rivals?
Yeah, I think a lot closer than anyone ever really understood. I think the 2-0 scoreline in Toronto, and then the 4-1 scoreline, when you go down to the analytics, and I know Greg will probably look at a lot of things like I do, you start to realize that, you know, it comes down to the small margins. In the US game, you know, they killed us on 2 set pieces and 2 transitions. In Toronto, we killed them on 2 transitions. So you can see it's in those moments of chaos, and there's little details in the preparation that make the biggest difference. We had 10 days preparation, or 8 days preparation prior to the game in Toronto. We only had one focus, the US. They had to deal with Cuba. And then coming into Orlando, they did what they do. They brought a camp together, and I think they had 14 days together before our first game. So, you know, these are the differences, the little details that can make big differences at this level. But I think, you know, we're on an interesting playing field going into this game tomorrow. It's you know, we both have got players in this squad that are still developing and still trying to earn their way to becoming a core player. And we're in tournament situations where we can't get the extra preparation. We love it, but you're on 2-day turnarounds with a little sleep, and back to back. Greg changed his system. I changed my system coming in. So there's definitely, you know, some challenges there. So I'm excited for the game tomorrow. I think all the fans are, and I'm sure, you know, he's looking forward to it as well.
Thank you so much. With this, we conclude the first part of the press conference. Now we would like to invite player Samuel Piette. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asking me a question.
Yeah, the last like 2 or 3.
Hi, Samuel. Welcome.
Hi, mask off or on? Off? Oh.
So, media members, we have Samuel Piette. If you have any questions, please raise your virtual hand.
It's gonna be tough to hear the question.
Okay. Ryan Tolmich.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm good. You?
Good. I just wanted to ask, look, you played in those 2 games the last time you played the US in Toronto and Orlando, and it seemed like that was kind of a turning point in terms of this becoming a rivalry, in terms of you guys kind of taking it to them and showing the US that you could play with them. So I just wanted to ask, when you play the US, what's that like? Obviously there's that familiarity in that you're playing with and against, guys you play with and against in MLS. Is it fierce? Is it friendly? What's it kind of like when you get on the field with them?
No, I think it's obviously a big rivalry because it's the US against us. And you've said it, playing in those 2 games back in 2019, it made it very special because before I used to saw this rivalry as a spectator, but now you get to live it, you get to feel the emotions, and you can see how, what it means for the program, what it means for the players. And yes, you're playing against some guys that you play with either in your club or playing against during the season. But, when you play for your country, especially at this level in this tournament, that means a lot for us. You go in there to win. I'm not gonna lie, we're going tomorrow into tomorrow's game to win that game, to top of the group, and to try to make it, to try to make this rivalry even more special, and hopefully try to get the win and be on the good side of it.
Richard, go ahead.
Thank you, Samuel. Just the first question in English. If you can just tell us what's impressed you from watching the first 2 matches with these young players coming in and getting some experience and winning the first 2 games with 8 goals.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've looked at, if you look at the offensive part of our team, I think we've responded really well. Obviously scoring 8 goals in 2 games, it's pretty impressive. It wasn't always the same goal scorer, so you could see that there's quality all around the team, and not only in the front in terms of strikers. So that says a lot about our team. Going into this tournament, winning the first 2 games is super important. We're obviously really happy to have qualified for the quarterfinal with 1 game left in the group stage. Like I said, we're going into tomorrow's game to win it in top of the group, but obviously getting that ticket, as soon as possible is something that we wanted to do and we achieved. So, no, really happy. There's obviously still a lot of stuff to improve and worked on, but mission 1 is complete, and looking forward for obviously tomorrow's game and what's coming after.
And actually, just to follow up on that, you've been a part of a few different Canadian teams at different levels, which have had success against the US. What does the team need to do to kind of get that similar success and get a win against the US on Sunday?
Yeah, well, obviously with the quality that we have in our team, the depth too, it's just to go out there, be true to our identity, which is, try to be on the front foot, try to, dictate the game compared to maybe in the past years and the past, squad that we used to have, where it was more wait and see what's happen in the game. We want to make things happening in the game. We want to try to dictate things and force things, and not just wait for things to happen. I think that's going to be super important. I've said it. I think offensively we've been obviously really good with the players that we have, the quality that we have. I think we need to be very, very focused on the defensive side of it, defensive aspect of the game. We need to be very focused on the defensive transition. The US are really strong on that. It's a powerful team with some good physicality. So I think if we can do a good job on that and just, play our game like we've done in the past 2 games. I think it's going to be a real interesting game for us, and hopefully, like I said, get, the win.
Merci. Puis 2 questions en français. C'est un gros match contre les États-Unis dimanche. Qu'est-ce que tu penses du rivalité Canada contre les États-Unis?
Évidemment, cette rivalité-là grandit de match en match à chaque fois qu'on affronte les États-Unis. On l'a vu en 2019 lorsqu'on a remporté ce match 2-0 à Toronto. Puis 1 mois plus tard à Orlando, malheureusement, on a perdu ce match. Par contre, je crois que ces 2 matchs-là ont mis, en fait, ont bien lancé les hostilités pour la suite. On sait que, on les affronte demain, oui. On sait qu'on va les affronter durant nos matchs de qualification durant l'Octogone. Donc, non, je crois que cette rivalité-là est encore... en fait, a beaucoup de potentiel pour grandir, mais je crois qu'il y aura beaucoup d'émotions demain et pour les prochaines fois qu'on va les affronter. Donc, on est très excités de les jouer demain. On n'a pas besoin de motivation supplémentaire de la part du staff. Évidemment, ce match-là est assez spécial pour tout le monde.
Merci. Et bien sûr, la première partie de notre mission était de nous qualifier pour les quarts de finale. C'est accompli. Alors maintenant, c'est pour gagner le groupe. Qu'est-ce que Canada doit faire pour finir premier dans le groupe B?
Oui, en fait, évidemment, on sait qu'avec une nulle, on peut passer et terminer premier de ce groupe-là. Par contre, c'est pas ce qu'on veut faire. On veut rentrer dans ce match-là puis aller chercher les 3 points et la victoire. Par contre, il faut être évidemment intelligent et voir comment le match se déroule. Je crois qu'il faut être solide défensivement et surtout focus tout le long du match. Évidemment, les États-Unis, comme nous, ont beaucoup de qualités, surtout offensivement, avec des joueurs qui ont de très bons gabarits physiques. Donc, que ce soit sur les contre-attaques, d'avoir notre ligne défensive ou plutôt notre équipe en mode justement être vigilante, et de minimiser les chances des États-Unis. Je crois qu'avec la qualité qu'on a offensivement en possession de balle, il faut essayer de dicter le jeu, le tempo, puis de gérer ces moments-là, de gérer le match. Je crois que c'est quelque chose qu'on fait bien depuis le début du tournoi. Par contre, il faut évidemment essayer d'aller chercher le clean sheet, le blanchissage demain, chose qu'on n'a pas fait durant nos 2 derniers matchs.
Well, thank you so much. With this, we conclude the press conference with Team Canada. The video will be available at the Concacaf Media Center. Thank you.